Welcome to what I think are the 3 best beginner mangas. Let's go. For a series to be beginner friendly, it has to be short. Yes, size matters. And for the first time, in the favor of Asians. Then it's going to be easy to absorb. What I mean by that is that it should be easy to decipher whether the guy got hit in the balls or the face. The art should be of a certain level. Okay, first off, we have the king of single omnibus volume mangas, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I've never felt so disconnected yet emotional with any manga series. It is just 2 volumes long and combined to make one omnibus volume, and it is a beautiful story about a super introverted guy and a super extroverted girl called Sakura Yamauchi. Sakura is dying of a pancreatic disease and is set to die soon. And obviously she goes to the hospital a lot, and by coincidence, the introvert was also at the same hospital. He sat down next to an unattended book called Living with Dying. Of course, he was curious and he looked through it and soon got to know that it was written by none other than Sakura. Sakura had chosen to keep her medical condition a secret, and now the only person apart from her family who knew was her random classmate. So she made him promise that before she dies, he has to spend a lot of time with her because now he is the only person she does not have to pretend in front of or act out that everything is fine. In the beginning, the introvert doesn't really care for her all that much, and neither will you. But as the story goes on, as the characters start liking each other, very surprisingly, you will also start liking the characters. This has never happened to me. If I don't like the characters in the beginning, I just don't end up liking them. But here, it was like a gradual incline. So it is a pain to get through the first couple of chapters. But you will very soon realize how well it starts to flow, and before you know it, you'll start to fall in love with the characters. But you also know that ill-fated day is going to come when Sakura is going to die. And of course, it's going to be in the story. That's literally the whole premise. After the midpoint of the story, that is exactly what you're going to be reading for. You're going to be scared out of your mind, like how and when is it going to happen. You love both the characters so much, you don't want any of the people to get hurt. And of course, that is the reason why the story relies very heavily on its ending. And believe me, it is the best part. I almost shed a tear. It is a very pretty good 8 out of 10. Next up is A Silent Voice, and it is about a guy called Shoya who used to bully the fuck out of this deaf girl called Shoko. He used to bully her constantly and of course caused her a lot of emotional abuse. But what he didn't realize was that karma's a bitch. Once the teachers got wind of all the bullying, everyone who also used to bully Shoko blamed it all on Shoya because he was basically the primary act in all of the bullying. Everyone blamed it on Shoya, and of course now he would start to get bullied. The story is essentially about how he corrects his mistakes once he grows up. The story is very well written and can get dark at times, but that's exactly what grips you and attracts you to the story. It may also feel childish at times, but honestly the childish stuff has a very short run and gets replaced by very serious scenarios like suicide and stuff, and it's honestly so deep that it'll make you think of all the times that you may have been very rude to someone and may have affected someone negatively. It messes with your head a little bit, but yeah, it's a very good 8.7 out of 10. Now the last but my absolute favorite, Death Note. And I know it is very popular, but if you are starting out with mangas and you're a beginner, you probably haven't read Death Note. Its fantastic first few volumes leave such a massive impact on you that I know, even though I do agree after the midpoint of the story, there is a decline, but the first few volumes are so incredible that I still find it hard to replace it with a series that has the same level of setup, characters, mystery creation, and especially art. The story is about a high school topper called Light Yagami who was just looking out of the window one day and saw a book falling from the sky. He of course goes and checks it out. What he finds is a diary called the Death Note. And what it mentions on the first page is that whoever's name is written on this note shall die. The user can mention the cause of death, but if left blank, the person dies of a heart attack right after 40 seconds of writing his name. The person's face has to be in the mind of the user, so no 2 people with the same name can be killed. Like anybody else, Light was also very skeptical about the reality and the truth of the Death Note. And of course, he was about to throw it out, but then he's like, wait, let's just, check it out once. And once he does that, he accidentally actually kills a person. and then another one. So he starts to kill mostly criminals and stay quiet about the death note. To catch Light, a master detective called L is introduced. This L is anonymous and is a huge mystery to everyone in the world and especially the police force. By the end of the first volume, you see this L assert himself as a proper enemy to this mysterious killer by using his excellent deductive skills and confidence in his own abilities. And of course, cause his face and name is anonymous and is not public, Light can't just go and kill him. After the first volume itself, you're going to start to realize that this story has much more to offer than what meets the eye. It is more of a detective series which is very intricately and carefully crafted. This is as much as I can tell you without ruining it. It is a great 9.2 out of 10. Please go check it out. It's really fucking good. These were my top 3 manga suggestions for all beginners. Thank you so much for watching. Please go down there and subscribe. We're about to hit 100 subscribers. Please, I'm gonna see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.